Today Africa Podcast is a podcast series where we interview African entrepreneurs and professionals and share the stories behind their businesses. In each interview, we ask how they got started, how they grew, and how they run their business today. The stories are inspiring and also provide specific advice and insight into starting a business. By sharing these stories, we want to help others get started.
Ishaq Willson is an entrepreneur. I have a background in architectural design. I am the co-founder of MyKreeb. MyKreeb is a property tech startup that is simplifying how people search for properties, simplifying the entire house hunting search process in Africa. The entire process of finding properties in Nigeria, in Africa, is very tedious, it's very stressful. And we've identified this as a big problem, and we're leveraging technology to be able to simplify how people find properties, making the process 10 times faster for them. So that's who I am in a nutshell.
Where did you start your business and who are your target markets?
All right. As far back as 2019, I moved into Lagos, right? And within that period, I was looking for an apartment. I was looking for a place to rent, to stay. And that period, I still have PTSD thinking about it. It was so stressful. I was moving from one inspection to another inspection, taking me to trenches. As a matter of fact, I remember one taking me to a non-completed building and saying, if I pay now, in the next 2 weeks, the place will be ready. And I'm like, what in the hell is happening here? You understand? I can remember going to different inspection and they would charge me for inspection fee. At that time, I think inspection fee was 5,000 naira. I'll pay inspection fee from different agents, and the houses I will end up seeing are terrible. The condition of the houses are terrible, and they will give you a very exorbitant, price for it. You see a house, at that time I was looking for a self-contained. You see a self-contained that is in a very bad condition, they'll be calling millions for you for that. And it was so crazy. I remember sitting in traffic, stressed out, and I was juggling this and also my new job that I got in Lagos, because the reason why I moved to Lagos was I got a job, after my NYC. And I sat down in traffic and I was thinking, why is finding a house this hard? Why should it be this hard? And at that time, some of the online platforms that we had at that time were not really kicking it for me. They were not really doing the job, right, to the barest minimum. And that was when I thought of, how can this entire process be simplified with technology? Whereby I'll be able to sit down in the comfort of my home and virtually inspect the property. Whereby I'll sit down in the comfort of my home and be able to see how the neighborhood looks like with Google Street View, right? I'll sit down in the comfort of my own. I'll be able to see the price tags of properties in different neighborhoods to be able to compare prices on the map. And that was when we began to build MyKreeb with this solution for people to be able to virtually inspect their properties with virtual tour from the comfort of their home, right? For people to be able to, because we realize that it's also important for people to see how the neighborhood looks like. And there's what's called Google Street View, right, on Google. So we partner with Google and integrated their API into our system so that people can also virtually inspect the neighborhood and see the neighborhood, how it looks like. Because you realize that you can get a very fine apartment that fits your need, fits your preference, but it's in a bad environment. Do you understand? And you can also, and the reverse can be the case. You can get an apartment that is not so good, but it's in a very good environment, right? So we want to be able to help home seekers match these two together. Are you looking for an apartment, a befitting apartment according to your lifestyle and your needs, and also in the right environment? Because families will also be skeptical raising their kids in a very bad environment, right? And we also realized that people move into apartments without having an insight about the dangers in that neighborhood. Do you understand? And so we thought of feeding the platform with neighborhood insights. Like, you want to know how frequent, what's the electricity supply rate in that place? Is it in band A? Is it in band B? How frequent is the electricity supply in that place? What is the network coverage? Is it MTN that is good there? Is it Airtel that is good there? Is it Glo that is good there? Because you can move to an apartment, you're using MTN, I realize that the network is very bad. And it can be crazy, you understand? So people want to us, flooding is another risk that another risk that we're trying to mitigate for people. So we're using AI to help people do flooding analysis, right? So the AI can help analyze flood-prone areas, right, in different zones, and also do flood prediction for them, so that if you are taking an apartment in a particular location, the AI can help you, give you a foresight that probably in the next 5 years down the line, this place will be prone to flooding. So we are building blueprint solutions to really help people make the right choices. There's power in choice, and making a choice of a place to reside in is one of the biggest choices you make, right?
That's
so
true.
People really make bad choices, and that is because they do not have the right data, the right insights, the right information, right? And we are feeding them with all of that. And our target market is basically home seekers, people who are looking for an apartment to stay, either short term or long term, because we have our marketplace also captures short let apartment. People are looking for short term rentals, people are looking for long term rentals, the normal rentals, and then people are looking for an apartment to buy, properties to buy, house to buy, basically just house, no lands for now. People are looking for house to buy. So on our platform, you have access to properties for sale, properties for rent, properties for short let. You understand? And so those are our target audience.
Before someone starts a business in Nigeria or in any part of the world, there are processes the person goes through. So I would love you to describe the process of launching MyKreeb.
First of all, it started as an idea, just the way any other business starts. It starts from an idea, and that idea is being influenced by a problem either you face or a problem that is common around you, right? So it started as an idea, to make sure that people make the right choices, right? And people make informed decisions. And the entire process of finding properties is simplified and automated for everyone involved, either the agent or the landlord or the home seekers. You understand? And so it started as an idea. It started as an idea back then in 2019, like I said. And through that process, I didn't first start by assembling the team. I started by doing a market research personally by myself, to do a market research, also study the already existing players in the market, and see what they are doing, and see and understand their loopholes, see where they are missing in actually solving the problem actively. You understand? Because one thing I realize is the solution of the future is always a derivative of the loopholes of the current existing solution. And so I had to sit down to do a thorough market research, both the platforms that we have locally and the ones that we have internationally, like the likes of Zillow, Redfield in the United States, and all of that, Realtor.com and all of that. And I realized that proptech marketplace platform in Nigeria is total. There's a vast distance, right? What is available in developed countries? Yes, there's vast distance in terms of technology, in terms of features, in terms of in all of that. And so I decided to begin to identify those loopholes and pen down solutions on how we can be different from from every other players here in Nigeria, right? Then personally, I began to talk to people, I created a survey, right? And I began to talk to people, talk to agents, talk to people who are looking for properties, right? Would you need, is in the survey is basically, would you desire to have a platform that gives you the opportunity to virtually inspect the property? Would you like a platform that you'll be able to have neighborhood data or insight about the property and all of that? And realize that that was when personally I realized that it is actually a big problem, right? That's when I personally started really understanding the problem. Do you understand?
Okay.
Talking to people, talking to users, talking to all the parties involved in the real estate transaction. And myself, I have a background in architecture, so I'm in the housing, industry and all of that. I've also, have experience selling properties and all of that. And then I began to assemble a team, right? My co-founder is somebody who we worked together as colleagues in a real estate company as far back as 2019. We met as colleagues in a real estate company. And when I shared the idea to him, he bought the idea. It was an easy fix for him because he also is somebody who has faced that problem, and he has that zeal, that enthusiasm to collaborate with me to also tackle that issue. You understand? And we started building late 2023. Just three of us, my co-founder, the COO, and then the CTO, the tech guy. And then we came up with a prototype of the platform. Funny story, I always give this story, is that at a point where we're looking for funding, early stage funding, all we had was an idea, right? And I created just a very rough business plan and all of that. You understand? And well, I had the client back then in the US, right? And I spoke to him about the idea. I told him that, okay, this is something we are building, right? We're building this platform that can, simplify house hunting in Nigeria. And he bought the idea, he was very interested, and he asked the question, do we have a prototype, right, to show him of this app that we're talking about? And we told him yes, right? And at that time, we actually did not have a prototype. Do you understand?
Yeah.
It's a funny story. I told him yes, but we'll show him the prototype in a week's time, right? We schedule a meeting in a week's time to show him the prototype. I said, okay, no problem, that's fine. And after that call, I sat down with my team. I said, we need to have a prototype as soon as possible to show this man by next week. Now that he sounds interested in it, I said, how do we go about it? Is to get a UI UX designer, a product designer, and then we sort out looking for product designers, and we're getting ridiculous bills here and there. It wasn't even the bill that was the problem. It was the time. The shortest period of time that we had proposed was at least 2 months. That was the shortest period of time because it was a bit of a complex prototype to build at that time. Now it's simplified, but at that time it was a bit of a complex prototype to build, and I was going mad. I was going nuts, like, we need to show this man this thing. And at that time, 2 days is gone already. We only had 5 days left. You understand? I said, okay, you know what we're going to do? I'm going to download Figma in my system. I'm going to sit down with YouTube, download all the tutorials I need to build a prototype on Figma. And I sat down and I did that design in 4 days.
Wow.
The prototype design that they were calling 2 months for me. I sat down and I did it in 4 days. That was one of the most terrible 4 days of my life because I wasn't sleeping. No, for real. I didn't sleep. I didn't close my eyes in 4 days, right?
Wow.
No jokes. I was looking terrible. I see I have a picture of it. I say one day I'll show. You understand? Right. And finally we were able to show him the prototype, and then he loved it and all of that. And so those are just one of the few, sacrifices and the struggles we had to go through to make sure that we build this thing, relentlessly, and no giving excuses and all of that. And those are one of the postures that an entrepreneur needs to take. Do you understand? In achieving his dream, no excuses. That is one of my motto: no excuse. Regardless of how terrible the situation or circumstances, there will definitely be a way if you decide to find a way.
Since you guys started last year, how have you people been able to fund your business?
MyKreeb has been bootstrapped so far. So we've been bootstrapping it, using personal funds, our own income, to build the product and settle everything that has to do with operations and all of that. And also we've been able to raise few funds from family and friends, and so that's how we've been able to tackle funding for now. And we are currently also raising for our pre-seed, right? We are currently fundraising and all of that. But all the while, the journey has been bootstrapped and also raising from family and friends.
So what's your business model, and how do you plan to generate revenue?
Okay, MyKreeb is we run a freemium model.
Okay.
Right. We run a freemium model, and then there is a pro plan, right, where people subscribe to have access to features that they can't access anywhere, like the neighborhood insight, right, and the whole flooding analysis, and all of that. So there's certain exclusive features that will be available for paid users, but it's on freemium, right? And then we charge a particular amount for the whole year, right?
Okay.
And then we also charge for, so on MyKreeb, another part of it is we have partnered with virtual tour production company to be creating virtual tours for property owners, short-let managers, landlords. Do you understand? So our goal is actually to popularize virtual tour, virtual inspection. Do you understand?
Okay.
And we've partnered with a virtual tour production company to facilitate that for our users at a very affordable price, like at a very ridiculous price. Do you understand? If you know virtual tour, you know that virtual tour is pretty much expensive, right? And we are coming to the market with a virtual tour technology experience that is pretty much affordable, so that everyone will embrace it and we can democratize that technology. And then we're also charging for that as well. So we are monetizing using with that platform. And also, we are monetizing with escrow payment for caution fee. Now, let me explain. We are bringing a solution whereby, so when you want to get an apartment, there are certain extra charges that you pay, right? One of our solution is that we will make it affordable for you to get an apartment. How do we intend to do that? By mitigating or reducing some of the extra charges, right?
Okay.
For example, you pay the extra charges you pay when you get in an apartment for the first time, apart from your rent, is legal fees, 10%, agency fee, 10%, caution fee. Caution fee is 10%, sometimes it's above. And then if it's a service apartment, you pay for service charge. And so you have 4 extra charges. These extra charges are the extra charges that make property rental or property, the value of property skyrocket in Lagos. Do you understand? And so we intend to cushion the effect of these extra charges. First, by having a fleet of lawyers or legal practitioner partnering with the landlord and say, look, We have a set of lawyers. So legal fee, instead of 10%, you can slash it down to 5%, because our lawyers will handle everything that has to do with your property, will cover in for your property, your tenancy agreement, everything that has to do with legality for the property, right? So instead of people paying 10%, you can slash it down to 5%. And caution fee. Now, caution fee, most of the times, caution fee, if you don't know what caution fee is like escrow deposit, is security deposit. You pay that amount of money when you're renting a house. In the event whereby you are moving out, the landlord will come and inspect to make sure that nothing is damaged in the house. If you damage anything, they'll use that money to fix it. Do you understand? But these days, people don't get refunded their caution fee, right? And at some point, and it's beginning to become a big problem, or even a scam, if I'll put it that way. So, property owners collect caution fee, and when the tenant is moving out of the house, they don't get their caution fee refunded. Ask anybody that you know if they have ever refunded their caution fee, ever. Ask anybody. Do you understand? And so people pay a lot of money. People pay as much as 300, 400,000 naira in this economy that things are not so good, right? If I put it that way. And you pay that kind of money for caution fee. You expect that when you are leaving the house, you get your money back, right? Because it's refundable, and that's what they always say, it's refundable. But it's not refundable these days, and people don't have the energy to take it to court and do. People don't have that energy in Nigeria to do that. So they just leave the money. And there's a lot of money, millions of dollars going down the drain in unrefundable caution fees. And so we've spoken to property owners that, look, we've created an escrow system whereby when people are making payments, the caution fee will be paid to MyKreeb to hold in escrow, right? At the point when the tenant is moving out of the house, a MyKreeb representative, a property manager, because we have property managers, will come and inspect the property and make sure that nothing is missing, or nothing is broken, or nothing is destroyed. Now, in the event whereby anything is destroyed, we'll check the value of that thing. Say, for example, it's a doorknob that is broken. We'll check what is the value of that doorknob and use a portion of that money and fix the doorknob, and the remaining balance is refunded to the tenant. Do you understand? So that way, when people are getting property, they have an assurance that this money that they are paying as caution fee will be refunded, because MyKreeb will facilitate that for them. Do you understand? Right. So there's that peace of mind that, okay, my money is in escrow, and so we are charging also for that escrow transaction. There are different ways we're actually monetizing, but for now, these are like the two channels: the freemium model, where we charge you subscription for the pro plan, the virtual tour production markup, the security deposit, and then lastly, if I just put it out there, is we have a rent savings wallet where tenants save periodically for their rent. You understand? And it's a very automated, secure, because we have back-end partnership with commercial banks and all of that. So it is a secure way of saving for your rent. And there are different savings plans where you can save flexibly. You can also co-save. Co-save means if you are staying with a flatmate, you can co-save money for your rent, or if you are staying with a roommate, you guys can have like a joint savings on MyKreeb. And so that's also another monetization channel.
Not that people don't want to pay their house rent, just that probably some issues or challenges just came up, and the money the person budgeted was used to settle that issue. But
like I say, it's an automated savings. And let me explain what I mean by automated. So, say for example, you're a salary earner, you earn a particular amount of money every month. You sign up on MyKreeb, on the MyKreeb wallet, create a savings plan, or choose a savings plan, right? And you agree that you're going to be putting in a specific amount of money from your salary. Say you want to put in like 100,000 naira every month, right? You choose that you want to do it automatically. Automatically meaning you put in your salary account card details, right? And choose a day and time where the money will be debited from your salary account into MyKreeb wallet, right? So all you need to do is just face your work, do your work. As much as you are earning, it's automatically a portion of that amount is automatically entering MyKreeb wallet, saving it for your rent. And we do that for a particular period of time you want to save it for. Say you want to do it for 1 year. And when the savings is matured, right, we'll send you a notification that your savings is matured, and we can, because when we are opening a savings account, we also have a place where you can input in your landlord's account details if you want to. Because at the end of your savings tenure, when your savings is matured, we'll congratulate you that you've saved successfully to your savings target, and we will ask you if you want to send it directly to your landlord. We'll ask you for permission. If you click yes, the money automatically, that exact money for your rent automatically goes to your landlord, and will send you a payment receipt, right? Which you can also use as a utility bill. Do you understand? We'll send you a payment receipt for that transaction. You understand? So that's how I also want to automate that, so that it's simple. Just face your work, you're working, you're earning. You know that at the end of the month, you're automatically putting aside a portion of your earning into MyKreeb wallet for your rent. And at the end of the day, it's just sent to your landlord with no stress at all.
What strategies have worked in attracting and retaining your customers? Your customers, I mean here, the landlord, the property seekers, and equally renters. So how do you attract and retain these people to use MyKreeb?
We're all about community, right? One of the strategies we're putting in is something called community-led growth, right? And so from the onset of MyKreeb, we started a Realtors community called Kreeb Clan, right? And so let me just even start with that. The entire idea of creating the Kreeb Clan community, the Realtors community, is first of all to empower Realtors. So we started off thinking of how we can eliminate the real estate agent, because there are a lot of problems with the agents and all of that, you know. And so we started off with the idea of connecting property seekers direct to landlords. That was how we started. And every other property tech startup that started off will also start with that idea. But with deep knowledge into the market, we realized that is practically not possible, at least for now. Right? That is practically not possible. So we thought of, instead of thinking of eliminating the middleman or the middlemen, which are the agent, let's empower them instead. So we also saw an opportunity there. The opportunity is to change the face of real estate agency in Nigeria. So we created a community and onboarded some good amount of agents, right? And the goal is simple, right? The goal is to empower them with knowledge to execute their business effectively, right? To be ahead of their the competition, right? And so we also created a gamification strategy whereby if you make certain transactions on MyKreeb, right, we categorize you in different levels. Do you understand? And there is rookie, there is platinum, there is gold, and all of that. And so people will move from level to level according to the number of transactions they make on MyKreeb. And each of these also comes with a different perks and benefits that they will get. Do you understand? And this is it's called gamification strategy to retain them, right? So that being part of MyKreeb would be a status symbol for Realtors. Do you understand? And we have other plans to also, give them plaques just the way they do on YouTube. Do you understand? Whereby if you get 1 million subscribers, you get a plaque and all of that. So we are using that strategy also on MyKreeb, that if you're able to achieve certain milestones, probably by transactions and all of that on MyKreeb, the number of properties you sold or rented out and all of that, we give you award, we give you plaques. And so these realtors will also be proud to be called award-winning realtors. Do you understand?
Okay.
And so
Yeah.
the whole idea is to service a community of realtors, and also empower them with knowledge, empower them with skill set, and also empower them by appreciating their work. And that will in turn change the face of real estate agents that so that is how we are strategizing in terms of the agents, right?
Okay.
In terms of the general users, the home seekers, is we're putting out a lot of marketing campaigns, right, on social media, on YouTube, magnifying the problem, and then introducing them to MyKreeb as a solution to that problem, because this is like I said, it's a big problem, and every adult who had moved out from their father's house or their family house definitely have tasted this problem one way or the other. You understand?
Okay.
And so
Yeah.
and so we are putting out a lot of marketing campaigns and strategies to create awareness of our platform. You understand? And then using referral systems as well to make people earn points while they refer people to the platform.
What are the roles that technology play in your startup?
We are first a tech startup that is empowering real estate. I like to consider ourselves that way.
Okay.
And first of all, we are leveraging technology and emerging technology to simplify this entire process, right? Like I mentioned, one of our biggest goals is to help people make the right choices, right? If we can help you make the right choice, right, not make mistakes of a house, having to rent an apartment only to realize that there's a lot of noise. There's a lot of noise in that place, and do you understand? And probably you as a creative or as a content creator and all of that, you can't hold your meetings without the whole noise in your environment embarrassing you, right? And so if we achieve those goals, we are satisfied, right? That people who are looking for a house make the right choice. Do you understand? And so we are leveraging artificial intelligence, like I mentioned earlier on. We are leveraging artificial intelligence for analyzing flood-prone areas, right? We are building Africa's first AI home search assistant, right?
Okay.
And so this AI model it helps you find the property for you. It's basically like an AI agent, right? AI realtor, if I'll put it that way. So it's the process is simple. You come on the platform, right? You click the button, the AI assistant button, and then it will ask you certain questions based on your preference, your lifestyle, right? If you're looking for property that is proximity to your workplace, or proximity to school, proximity to church, proximity to mosques, right? And all of the preferences. Do you like a house that has POP? Are you looking for a house? Are you looking for a house that has high ceiling and all of that, right? It will ask you certain questions to be able to understand your need, and then to now synchronize and give and feed you properties that are aligned to those needs.
Okay.
So it's not a quick guess like other platforms that you just come and you see the search button and then you search 2-bedroom apartment in Shangotedo, and then to show you, and then it's basically like the same thing you go out there and do, right? But this AI model would understand first your need, your preferences, and then feed you with properties that are in accordance to those needs of yours. Right, so we are building that model, and in 2025 we are going to be launching that as well. And then property valuation right? Using AI is another thing, because we are not just solving for home seekers, we are also solving for home providers, right? For example, for myself, let's say I want to enter into real estate newly. Say, for example, I've invested, I've developed a property, right, a duplex, but I'm not sure about the value of that property in the market. So that I'll be able to put in the right price to sell that property. I don't know if you understand, right?
Yeah.
So that is also a problem, right? Because I've worked with clients whereby I did a design for them, we did the construction, did the development and all of that. And then they were having issues putting up the right value of that property. So traditionally, what people do now is to compare the prices of that same property in that same neighborhood. For example, 4-bedroom duplex, right? A fully detached 4-bedroom duplex in Lekki Phase 1. And you just developed it. So what new landlords do, right, or developers do, is to ask questions around, check what is the value, how much are other people selling in that particular neighborhood. And they would now use that information to create a value for their own property. Sorry, I'm trying to. Right. But we're using AI for property valuation, so that you can just come on the platform, you want to sell your property, but you are unsure on the right value, because some people undersell themselves and oversell themselves, right? And that's why sometimes you see properties are stay in the market for a very long time. You get. So we are building AI models for property valuation, whereby you put in the location. The AI already understands the value of properties that are in different locations. It has that data, because we are going to train the model and feed in with those data. We're going to impute what is the category of that property. Is it a terrace? Is it a duplex? Is it a semi-detached? Is it a block of flats? Right? What are the amenities that you put in that property? Right? And all of that, every detail about the property, and to give you an estimate value of your property. Since we're leveraging AI for property valuation, we're leveraging AI for fraud detection, fraudulent listings, right? So if you come on the platform to put in fraudulent listing, our AI will be able to detect that it's a fraudulent listing and flag it up, right? As it is on our platform, when you post your property, it doesn't go live immediately. We have an approval process, so we can fish out the ones that are not genuine and leave the ones that are genuine, because we want to create a safe environment, or a safe platform where people can come and trade without fear of being defrauded, right? So that's how we're leveraging emerging technology to solve this problem.
What are the key lessons that I've learned in your journey as an entrepreneur?
All right. First of all, is in building solutions, like I think I mentioned earlier, in building solutions, you must first of all validate that solution or validate that idea before building.
Okay.
Right? If not, you'll be building the solution only for yourself. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Yes. So I've learned that it's important to validate your idea. If you have the very first step of building a business or building a product, is first of all product validation, right? First of all, is the market ready for your solution, or are you too early? Do you need to wait till when the market is ready for your technology, right?
Okay.
Because timing is very important. You do understand? And so you need to first
Yeah.
of all validate the idea. There must be a lot of validation before building that solution. Secondly, is follow the money. It is important to build solution that people are willing to pay for. Because if people are not willing to pay for your solution, then because the core of every business is to make money. You are not an NGO. You are not do you understand?
Yeah.
The core of every business, the reason why we are in business is to make money. So you must follow the money. It is important to follow the money. So you must build solution, and that's where validation comes in. You must build solution that people will be willing to pay money for. You understand? And so follow the money. You understand? And the last but not the least is business. Doing business in Nigeria is hard. And so if you're entering business without tenacity and ruggedity, if I put it that way, then sooner or later you won't last the test of time. So doing business in Nigeria is very hard, and so entrepreneurs must have the posture of tenacity and ability to keep on pushing regardless of the situation, regardless of whether things are not working or not, right? And so those are basically, in a nutshell, the lessons I've learned building business.
What advice would you give to other people or to the younger ones who want to venture into business or who are just starting their business?
So first of all, I would say go for knowledge, right?
Okay.
You can't give what you don't have. You understand? You must seek knowledge, and knowledge can come in different forms. It can come from mentorship, looking for someone who is already where you are aspiring to be in life, and seeking mentorship from them. That is the highest leverage for me, because if you are under a cover of a mentor, I always say that you have wings to fly. Do you understand?
Okay.
It makes your journey 10 times faster. Do you understand? Because they'll be able to help you identify pitfalls where they show you their scars, where they failed before, and so that you also don't fall. You also make the right choices as you build your business. Right. So that's one part of going for knowledge. Secondly, is in investing in materials, in books, in attending seminars to learn and all of that. Secondly, is building your networks, because who you know is better than what you know. That's the truth of the matter. Who you know in this life is far more better than what you know. It doesn't matter what you know. It doesn't matter how intellectual you are. If you know nobody, right, your journey will be long.
That's true.
Your journey will be long. And so I always say that there are 5 buckets. I always say there are 5 buckets as an entrepreneur you need to fill. Number one is what you know, which is your knowledge. Number 2 is who you know, your networks. Number 3 is what you have, your resources. Number 4 is what you can do, which is your skills. And number 5, what do people think about you? That is your reputation. I think these are the 5 buckets that every person that's entering into business or entrepreneur should be aware of.
Today Africa Podcast is a podcast series where we interview African entrepreneurs and professionals and share the stories behind their businesses. In each interview, we ask how they got started, how they grew, and how they run their business today. The stories are inspiring and also provide specific advice and insight into starting a business. By sharing these stories, we want to help others get started.